Peace, brothers and sisters in humanity. Hope you're all well. Alright, I'm in a sunny day today actually in London. I'm here looking after my allotment. So, I'm going to do something different today. There's no TV, there's no books, there's no nothing. I ain't got a pen, I ain't got nothing. I'm just going to summarize the Quran, alright? And please, alright, do not follow me, alright? That's what I got at reading the Quran again and again and again and again and again and again for years. But this is, I'm going to summarize the Quran. What's the point of it? What's the point of our creation in the first place? Things like that. So, this is not going to be a lot of verses in it, or let's just say, you guys, the ones that read the Quran, the Quran followers only, obviously they know what I'm talking about. If they think the same way, I don't know. So, first of all, let's start from the beginning. God created Earth. Let's just talk about the Earth creation, yeah? Created Earth, obviously with its skies and everything in it. And then, when I said created, I mean all creation. The Quran tells you all creation was done at the same time. There's no creation before other creation. All creation has been done at the same time. All right? All started at the beginning. And then there's a verse in the Quran, إِنَّمَا يُرِيدُ أَمْرًا فَيَقُولُ لَهُ كُنْ فَيَكُونُ. So if God wanted something, He tells it, right, to be, and that thing will be. All right. In Arabic, you can't talk to something that doesn't exist. So to tell it, that means it's already existed. Do you know what I mean? So in Arabic, that's exactly the same thing. So He tells it, so that thing already exists. To God, it does exist, but to us, we can't see it. So the whole point of this is B2B, is to be for people to see it. Right? It appears to us. So when God says be, that thing will appear to us, but it was already created before. So let's say created Earth, right? And then that Earth, God wanted to put someone to look after it, right? So God asked a whole creation, gave them the choice, and they all refused, except a human being. He accepted it. He said, yeah, I will look after Earth. قال الله وقال ربك للملائكة إني جاعل في الأرض خليفة. So God said to the angels, this is after He created a human being. He told them, all right, I'm going to put someone in charge of Earth, or run it, and then the angel said, why would you put a human being in that? I mean, all he knows is kills and blood and things. Right? Why would the angel say that? I mean, if the creation was afterwards, why would the angels say that? You know? That's because they know a human being before it was a human being. It was an insan, that's what it is, a human being roughly, yeah? So they knew us when we were human animals, like without knowledge. And that's why I said, God said in a verse to the angels, I'm going to create a being. He called him a bashar, right? Bashar is the what do you call it? Bashar is the type, right? It's the creation, the name of creation. But insan is that creation plus knowledge. See, when God said, I'm going to create a being from clay, right? And then when I perfect it and give it knowledge, you should do sujud to Him, right? And the sujud here, it's not like they obey the human being, because the angels already. That's why they said, "Oh, you're going to put him in charge of earth, and all he knows is blood." And God said, "I know what you do not know." So when He brought the human being to the angels, which is Adam, which is the first generation human, it's not a person. It doesn't necessarily mean a male or female. It's that creation. The first creation of human beings called Adam. The whole creation is Adam, right? Not one person, right? Not like He created Adam and then He created Eve. No, it doesn't work like that. If anything, I'll come back to that. So because the angels saw the human being, the human animals, what he was doing on earth. He was created on earth, right? He wasn't created in like they say, paradise somewhere or something. No, the whole creation is for earth, for us to be on earth. We're never going to leave earth, right? Even when we die, we come back, we're going to be on earth, because we created to be on this earth. Probably not the same earth, but is nevertheless earth. So the angel said, how are you going to put him, and he shed blood and he bloody eats everything, and he just, you know what I mean? God said, I know what you do not know. So when he gave him the knowledge, the brains, the ruh, right? And then he brought the angels and told them, listen, give me his names. Names in the Quran means, doesn't mean names, literally names. No, it means, there's a proper name for it, is attributes, right? So he asked the angels, he said, right, now do sujood to him. After he gave him the knowledge that he didn't know about, you know, that's God told the human being, the proper human being, to give the angels their attributes or their names. So when the angels saw that is not a same being. The first being was like an animal. The second being now, right, he's actually, he can think for himself, right? That's why they done a sujood. And the same reason Satan didn't do the sujood, although God did not ask him to do the sujood. He asked the angels, isn't it? Yeah. But nevertheless, and Satan is not from it's not one of the angels. Is one of the jinns, like transparent creation, things we can't see. So that's why he didn't do the sujood, because he was jealous, right? Because he saw a human being with also, he's got knowledge as well. And Satan thought he's only the one who's got the knowledge. So he was jealous, basically, and he wanted to be in charge of earth, but he wasn't created for that, because he's not a physical being. Or he is a physical being that we can't see it. If we can't see it, nothing on earth can see it. No animals can see it, nothing can see it. Because that's his title. His title is the jinn, and the jinn things we can't see. Like Jannah. Jannah is not paradise. Jannah is, let's say, go to the Amazon, right? You're standing outside of the Amazon, right? Can you see anything in the jungle? No, you can't see anything until you go in. And that's what a Jannah is. A Janine. A Janine is the baby. Baby is inside the mother's womb. It's called Janine because we can't see him. We can see the shape of him, but the shape of him outside, the mother's womb. But we can't see the baby himself until we do scans and all that. So that's why it's called the Janine. It's hidden, right? So anyone who goes around and say he knows the jinn, or is seeing the jinn, or just telling him you're just silly, just stupid. You know what I mean? Because you can't really see these creatures. Okay, go back to the story, all right? And then God said, you and your partner, not anta wa zawjuka, it's not your wife, right? It's the copy, because God created one soul, right? And then he made a copy of that soul, right? And he didn't say male or female. If anything, a nafs in Arabic is actually, it's a female thing. It's do you know what I mean? It's not nafs. النفس خلق منها زوجها. خلق منها we can only say about a feminine thing, not about a male. If it was a male, we said خلق منه. So he created a soul, and then he created a copy of that soul. And from this two, right? From this two, he created all human beings. I mean, rijal wa nisa. He didn't say females and males. He said rijal wa nisa. I mean, the capable and the not capable. That's what it means. He didn't say إناث وبث منهما إناثا كثيرا ورجالا. No, he said وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء. Right? Period. So that's understood, right? And from this two, he created male, let's say women and men, right? Obviously, males and females among them. Because a female can be a man, can be a rajul, and a male can be nisa as well, which is it comes from the word nasi. And I explained it before. A rajul, that means the responsible people. rijal means the responsible people, and the nisa, that means lower than the rijal. It doesn't mean they're actually better than them or anything. No, 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 it doesn't mean like that, because there's no difference between man and female, rijal, nisa. There's no between illa bitaqwa, which is with obedience and that. Right, that's the difference. So, God created a lot of human beings out of these two copies, and I believe that's what the Quran says as well. Right, the Quran never says the Prophet Adam, or about the messenger Adam. He never said talked about Adam as a male or female, or I know he said iskun anta wa zawjuka al jannah, but it doesn't mean anything, because the nafs is a female as well. Do you know what I mean? So it doesn't mean anything. Iskun anta wa zawjuka al jannah. Some people say, oh, he said iskun wa anta zawjuka al jannah, and I go back to the nafs. I said he created the nafs, and then he created a copy from the nafs. And first nafs was a female, then, isn't it? You know what I mean? I can always come back to you. Don't worry about it. But I explain that in details with the Quran itself. I'm summarizing the Quran here. I'm not giving you any verses, but I can go back to that. So, and then he created all types of people. All types of people. He created black people. He created white people. Created Chinese people. He created every type of people you can see today. It was from the beginning. Right? It was the first creation. Do you know what I mean? He created black people, white people, Chinese people, and then when he spread them, he put black people in Africa, he put whatever people we know about people, all right? Demography, all right? So that's where God put them. All right? Black people in Africa, white people in Europe. That's exactly how it started. It didn't start, obviously, not with all these numbers, obviously. Do you know what I mean? But that was what it is. That explains a lot. That explains a lot, actually. I mean, we go back to history, all right? Black people weren't in Europe. White people were in Africa. We're talking about hundreds of years or thousands of years or something, yeah? So he created all white people, all black people, all Chinese people, Arabs, you know what I mean? All this were created. I'm talking about the types, right? The skin colors, hair type and all that. That was created at the beginning. And then when we actually, Adam, which is the first generation, right, human beings, right, on earth, committed a sin. And the sin is not eating from an apple tree, right? A tree in the Quran doesn't mean it's actually a tree. No, it is a tree, right? But that tree of Khubt, right? Shajarat al-Khubt, that means they've eaten from Satan's, they've done something Satan's told them to do. And that thing does not go with creation's laws, right? So, and he told them, this is your worst enemy. But the human being at the time did not listen and committed a sin. That sin, exactly, we do not know. But you can tell, Adam could not even say, oh, God, forgive me. He would have forgiven him, do you know what I mean? But he didn't know how to be forgiven, all right, because it was at the start of the creation. So he was a human being, well, less knowledgeable, do you know what I mean? Because they didn't need all this knowledge we have now, did they? Because their life was like in heaven. It didn't have to work, didn't have to do anything, man. They just chill, right? Chill on that. So when they actually created the first sin, right, and they couldn't ask for forgiveness because they didn't know how, that's why وَتَلَقَّى آدَمُ مِنْ رَبِّهِ كَلِمَاتٍ. So the Creator had to tell him what to do, what to say, and everything. And then obviously he forgiven him after that. But his punishment was to leave that paradise he was living in and go to where we live in now. I mean, you have to work and you have to create things. You have to, do you know what I mean? That life, you know what I mean? God said you will not starve in this life, right? And you will not die of thirst, right? But there's going to be some hardship. And that hardship, we're actually seeing it right now. So we got out from the happy life where we're supposed to be in the first place, right? Where Allah created us and gave us all what we need. I mean, we didn't have no emptiness, we didn't have nothing, right? We didn't have no worries, we didn't have nothing, right? From there, kicked us out, and then He actually told us to live on this earth as it is right now, which is you need to create, you need to make, you need to feed yourself, you need to do this, you need to build stuff and all that. So, and then the knowledge came gradually, right? Because obviously Adam generation couldn't create a mobile phone, obviously because they were limited in knowledge. Uh, and our sole mission to be on this earth to look after it, basically, to look after it, to keep it as good as the Creator created it. Do you know what I mean? 'Cause that's why He gave us the knowledge, so we can actually try to help the creation. You know what I mean? Not helping God. You know, help the creation, other creation we live with, like animals, like trees, like the whole environment. And that's why every time, like a town just get out of everything. I mean, just start committing sins and killing each other and shit. God destroys them because they're not good to earth. That's the only reason God punish people, because they're not good to earth. Do you know what I mean? They're not going to help with anything. They're just going to be selfish and kill. And what's the point of them? So that's why He punished towns. As I said, that's why Allah punished towns. He doesn't punish cities. He punished towns because the town is actually people that think the same way and create havoc, right? That's why God just got rid of them. It's like Qom Lut. Qom Lut, they were doing not just like gay shit. No, they actually they used to do bad shit as well. Bad shit, not just sex and all that between males and that. No, 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 no. It's not that. They actually they done bad shit before, really terrible shit outside this, and then they topped it up with this. And then obviously they were not good to God, are they? They're not good to God. They're not good to the creation. They're not good to anything. So God said, well, that's it. I gave you a choice. You made the wrong choice. A terribly wrong choice. Not just a wrong choice. It's terribly wrong choice. That means those people, they won't give anything to the planet, right? To our planet. They won't gonna give anything. That's it. God knows the future, so He knows these people are gonna run riot. So that's why He punished them. That's why He punishes towns when they go overboard, basically. You know what I mean? And they don't do any good. Unfortunately, it works this way. There's no other work. You know what I mean? People go like, "Why did He create me? He created you to be in charge of this shit." You know what I mean? And He didn't put you here. You put yourself here. Every one of us agreed, right, to look after Earth. Every one of us, before we came down here, right, we agreed to look after this planet, look after the animals, look after the trees, look after our environment, look after ourselves. You know what I mean? Be good to ourselves. You know what I mean? Because God said, "You're not going to starve here, or you're not going to die of thirst." Right? That means that's enough for everyone. Do you know what I mean? No matter how many people. See, people go, "Oh, there's too many people in the world." So God is an idiot or something. So He didn't know that He's going to create people, 8 million people, and they're not going to have nothing to eat. No, of course not. God said you will not starve, right? And you're not going to die of thirst, right? So it's enough for everyone. Doesn't matter how many people on this planet there is, right? It's enough food for everyone. But greed and the selfishness and all this organized religions and all this, like, you know what I mean, stupid idiots or fight over land, like the Jews, like the Israelis go like, "Oh, this is our land." No, the whole planet is your land. You know what I'm saying? The whole planet is our land. We haven't got no boundaries, no limits, no nothing. Do you know what I mean? As long as we good with each other and respect each other and all that, there's no limits, there's no borders. When did borders exist anyway? Last what? I don't know. There was no borders before. I mean, going back not long ago, between like Syria and Palestine, it used to be one country. There was no borders. Algeria, Morocco, Tunisia, it used to be one country. There was no borders. Who put the borders there? The Western civilization, after occupying every land. You see, these borders are it's just like a myth, just like an illusion. Man created. Allah never put borders in there. In the contrary, God said to actually mix, right? And obviously that's why He sent a lot of messengers to basically to remind people, right? When they go like mad, you go mental. God sends messengers to remind them while they're here. You see, that's all it is. This Bible, this like Injil and the Torah and the Quran. That's what they're all just reminders. And God Himself calls them reminders. You see, they are reminders to remind us. Hey, where you going, mate? You're going astray. Come back, man. Your sole mission is to look after Earth, to be good to each other. Do you know what I mean? That's why God sent us reminders. And the Quran came for everyone. You see, the Quran is a beautiful thing. Why? Because it came for everyone. So Allah said, it's going to come the time when black people are going to meet white people are going to meet Chinese people are going to meet Arab people. Do you know what I mean? Because obviously things are going to get better. You know what I mean? Things are going to get faster. The world is going to get smaller. So these people are going to have to meet each other, right? We're all different languages, different color, different creed, different whatever. Yeah, one day they're going to come and meet each other. So they're going to need something to live by, right? And that thing, like legislation to live by, or to follow. And that legislation is the Quran itself, because it's for all humanity, not for Jesus people or the Jews or for this. You know what I mean? It's for all humanity. Yeah, that's all it is. And the Quran tells us the legislation, the deen is legislations. Right? If you read the legislations, it will explain to you. Right? The legislation itself actually tells you that the only way we can survive on this planet is by following the Quran's legislation, because Allah created us, so He knows what we're capable of, and He created everything, so He knows what the creation needs, right? And those legislations is just not for human being, for everyone. Do you know what I mean? For all animals, plants, everything. But unfortunately, all right, the creature that's been sent, that's been created to look after this planet, gone mental. They started they forgot about everything. They started thinking about their sexual needs and their greed and their money, and they want to own everything, and they're the kings and generals and all that, and they don't know what the hell they're doing. Do you know what I mean? All they've done is kill people. Do you know what I'm saying? Kill people, poverty, just name it. And we can see Earth, how's Earth going right now. Are we looking after Earth at the moment? Or are we looking after ourselves? And it's simple. The end of the world is going to come when the majority of this planet, we just go mad. They become the animals the creation started with. See, that's why God gave us a brain. It didn't leave us as human animals, you know. But eventually, we have a brain, and our brain develops and all that, you know what I mean. And we create better things. We make our life a bit easier. But we came back to the animal we were by shedding blood and killing everything, eating everything. Like people keep money, like billions and billions in their account, and God said not to do that. I mean, look at the Quran, man. Look at the Quran. Just don't talk to me. Just read your Quran, man. This is just a quick, like in a coffee shop conversation, really. Do you know what I mean? There's other things. Obviously, I can't think of everything in my head. Like people say, oh, why is all the prophets and the messengers sent in the Middle East? No. Not all of them. The Quran said there's other messengers and other messengers we didn't tell you about, because we didn't need to know about that. Fair enough, that's it. I don't need to know anything else. When God said there's others that I didn't tell you about, I don't need to know. But I think the only reason, right, God told us a lot about the messengers and the prophets He sent in the Middle East, around the Middle East somewhere. It doesn't have to be the Middle East itself, innit? Because we really don't know where they cut. You know what I mean? We have like a few things here and there, like saying, oh, Jesus was born there, or was born here, Muhammad was born there, but we don't know exactly where they were born. But I can tell you why, right? God concentrated on Muslims, Jews and Christians, right? Look at today. Look at what the Christians done, look at what the Jews done, and look what the Muslims done as well. Look how much blood they shed, the three religions, right? Look how much greed and they started idol worship by having imams and having that. And who's the worst kind of people today, right? It's the three, the Jews. We're talking about not the Jewish people. We're talking about the organized religions. The organized religions cause mayhem on earth, man. Mayhem on earth, right? And they all idol worship religions, right? They all idol. That's why they call the religions, right? They all idol worship religions, and they cause mayhem. That's the three religions. That's why people go, oh, religions cause wars. No, people cause wars. That's nothing to do with religion. And I can't call Islam a religion because it's not. It's a way of life. It's the politics of life. It's just legislations of life. That's what it is. It's not like I got to do this for God. God didn't ask me to do anything for Him. God said, إِنَّهُ غَنِيٌّ عَلَى الْعَالَمِينَ. I mean, He doesn't need anything, basically. You know, He's richer than everything else. So He doesn't need me to bow down or do this or go to the mosque or go do this. No, go to Hajj, go around the buildings. He doesn't need me to do that. He's not needy. Do you understand? He's not needy. That's what we've been trying to say. But man created all this praying, all these churches, all these buildings of worship, places of worship. Do you know what I mean? To rule over human beings. That's all it is. To scare them, to make them kill for them, to make them like give them money, to worship them. That's why. That's why God only mentions these people. Didn't mention other prophets. What makes you think that the first messenger Allah spoke about is Noah? Nuh. He's the first messenger. Adam was never mentioned as a messenger or prophet or anything like that. But the first messenger that came down, that God sent, I say came down sometimes, but it's just the wrong thing to say. But sorry, it's just that's the way I speak. Yeah, Noah was the first person who was sent as a messenger, as a reminder to these people who run riot, basically. So that's why God finished them, drowned them, and He didn't drown the whole earth. People say the whole earth drowned, and He built this massive, and He put lions there. No. It's a small part of earth these people lived that can be filled with water. It's between mountains, lower, lower ground, lower underneath the sea level. So that's got covered it with water. That's it. Don't need you. And the animals Noah took with him, it's only the animals we use today: horses, cows, sheep. Not wild animals. Do you know what I mean? Because God did not destroy the whole earth. Why would He do that for a few people causing mayhem? Makes no sense. What else? I'm just trying to answer questions before they be asked. This is not like educational video. So because I'm saying random things and I sound sometimes probably sound a bit mixed up, but I'm just gonna say this: summarize the Quran. That's what it is. So each one of us is responsible for himself. So if you keep good, you do good, and you help other, help the planet, right? Help the planet. Plant trees. I don't know. See, I got some palm trees from Algeria and planted them here. Hopefully they work. Otherwise, I just look after the animals. I feed them. I'm not saying, copy me or something like that. No. You can do your own shit. You know what I mean? I don't know. Just things to help the planet. You know what I mean? Help the planet. Things we can do to help the planet and help each other. Do you know what I mean? Basically, when I get fruit from here, I give them to my neighbours. You know what I mean? When I get all the fruit from here, I give them to my neighbours. I'm not saying I'm a hero or something. No. I'm just explaining what part you can take. And I'm talking about just this, but we can do a lot. There's other countries are starving somewhere. We don't give them charity because there's people. Oh, give them food. No, they don't need food. They need a way to make food. You can't be like giving them money all the time. Oh, this country is they can't produce their own food. We can help them to produce their own food. We can give them the means to produce their own food. All right? We don't have to give them money every 2 minutes. No, we help them out to make their own food. Do you know what I mean? So that way they'd be sufficient, and we don't have to give money every year. I mean, the poor, yeah, there's some poor they can't. If someone come to you like physically healthy and he asks for money, you're not supposed to give him money. You don't have to give him money. If you want to, yeah, but you don't have to because he's healthy. He can go and get a job. Do you know what I'm saying? He can go and earn something. But instead of giving him money, get him a job. Do you understand? We're not trying to make lazy people here, because that's not good for the planet Earth. That's not good. No, we help them find a job. Someone who hasn't got a job, I'm not going to give him money. I found him get a job. So these African countries that we actually sucked them dry, all right? And then actually it's so funny, isn't it? So it's so funny. So the West sucked Africa dry, all right? Didn't leave nothing for these old people, for their people, for Africans. And then obviously the way had to take all that wealth, you had to put people in charge, innit? Generals and shit, to keep the population under control. And then when the Africans started to go to Europe, Europeans are going, why are you coming here? It's like they don't know why. You know, that's a human being for you. That's a human being who's supposed to be in charge of this planet. Do you know what I mean? That's what he does. Why? Because he forgot why he's here in the first place. And when you give him the Quran or a reminder, he goes like, oh, you believe in fairy tales, you believe in that. Well, give me your explanation while we're here then. Well, give me your explanation. That's the Quran explanation, right? He actually answered every question, right? Now, we didn't come all from two people, right? We didn't all live together. No, we didn't. So obviously, you know, historically as well, you can tell that black people didn't originate in Europe. They originated in Africa. You know what I mean? That's why I sometimes say, oh, Africa, we all come from Africa. How do you explain all this civilization popping up everywhere then, right? How do you explain all these civilizations that are popping up all over the world? We don't know how. The hell did they get there? It's like Christopher Columbus discovered America, and then he found people in it. How the hell did he discover America when he had people in it? People were there already. He didn't discover shit. He just went there traveling, that's all. Do you know what I mean? And all of a sudden, he's the hero because he's a white person, because he's Spanish. Do you know what I mean? And the Spaniards were like a powerful at the time. Do you know what I mean? It's like history. Who writes history, right? Who? People who died? No. People who survived. Most of those people are people, the conquerors, isn't it? The powerful people. People who won the war. They create all this shit. You see, Christopher Columbus, I can't believe he actually used to, the things he used to teach us in school, and most things we learn in school, it's all rubbish, to be honest. They don't help you in your life at all. So this is me, alright? You can criticize me if you want. You can ask me questions. Probably I didn't talk about it. There's a lot to talk about, you know, because the Quran is one unit. You know, everything is related to not a verse is related. You know, probably is not. If it's not related now, right? In about 3, 4, 5, 6, or 10 or 20 verses, is related then. Do you know what I mean? Because it's all one unit. It's one story, but you need to work it out yourself. You know what I mean? And that's the beauty of the Quran. That's why no one can mess with it. That's all it is, man. That's what we're here for. That's what we're here for, guys. Peace out.